In this video, I will show you how to build a powerful web scraper using n8n workflow and Firecrawl with zero coding required. Check out the links in the description if you would like to get all the resources. Use it to build this automation. Tools we need to set up this automation are n8n. n8n stands for Nodemation. n8n is a powerful workflow automation tool which allows you to connect different applications and services, automate tasks, and build complex workflows visually. It is similar to automation tools like Zapier and Make.com. It is not open source, but it is sustainable use license. There are no license costs associated with its use. You have two options for getting access to n8n tool. The easiest option is to sign up for their cloud version and subscribe. Here we are on the cloud version, which is n8n.io. Here is their pricing plans page. For annual subscription, we have starter plan, that is $20 per month, pro plan, that is $50 per month, and an enterprise plan. If we want to take monthly subscription, then we can switch to monthly pricing plan. The monthly pricing plan is slightly more. Here we have the starter plan as $24 per month, pro plan as $60 per month, and an enterprise plan. Another option is to install it on your own. Here you can see this is my local installation of n8n. I made several videos on different ways you can install n8n. You can check the video description for all the links. Then we have Firecrawl. Here I am on their website. Firecrawl is a web scraping and crawling API designed to make it easier to extract data from websites, especially for use in AI applications. It is designed to handle modern websites, including those that use JavaScript to render content, which can be a challenge for traditional scrapers. A core focus of Firecrawl is to provide data in formats that are easily used by large language models. This includes outputting data as clean markdown or structured JSON. Here is their pricing plans page, which includes a free account. You will receive 500 credits for the free plan. Then again we have monthly and yearly subscriptions. Here is the pricing for the monthly subscription plans, and we can switch this to yearly plans. And here you see the yearly plans are slightly less than the monthly plans. Then the website that you want to scrape. In this video, I will take my own website, findbestsolution.tech, as an example. You can either follow along and build the workflow or download the resources I provided in the description before you start building this workflow. Using the template will save you a lot of time compared to building it from scratch. First, I will show you how to import the template I provided. Here I am logged into my n8n instance. Once you are in the n8n canvas, click on this plus sign, then click on this workflow option. Click on the three dots on the top right and select import from file option. Navigate to the directory where you saved the template file. Select the template file and click on this open button. You can see the workflow has been imported. Since it is a relatively simple workflow, I will also show you how to build it from scratch. Before we build the workflow, we will need to set up our account on Firecrawl website and get familiar with the usage of the Firecrawl web services. I will show you how to sign up for an account. Type in Firecrawl in Google search bar and then hit enter. Then click on this link that says firecrawl.dev. Now click on this sign up button. You can choose any of the methods here to create an account. Then follow the prompts to finish account creation. Here I am logged into my Firecrawl account. Click on this dashboard button. Here you will see the menu on the left hand side. Initially you will receive 500 credits when you sign up. You can check it up by clicking on the settings here and then clicking on the billings tab here. Here it will show you the credits that you received. Now let us check out how this works by clicking on this playground and then try a simple scraping of any website. Here you have the single URL tab. You can paste the website address here. Let me copy my own website address and I will paste it here. Then click on this run button. Scroll down. We can see here that the website has been scraped and the scraped data is displayed here in the markdown language. We can also view it in JSON format by clicking on the JSON response tab here. We cannot use this output directly in our n8n workflow. In order to use this in our n8n workflow, we are going to use the extract API endpoint of Firecrawl. Click on this extract tab here, then simply provide a prompt here describing what data you want to extract from the website you want to scrape. I have a prompt that I will be pasting here. Here is my prompt. Then click on this generate parameters button. We can see it has generated this output here. This is the schema that it has generated, which has these fields: website copy, website summary, services, icebreaker, and the company name. This is what we instructed Firecrawl to extract with this prompt. Here we are saying extract website copy, then website summary, then the services, then create one line icebreaker, then extract the company name. Now let us run this by clicking the run button here. We can see the Firecrawl is running our request. Here we can see the extraction results. It populated the requested fields with the information it found on the web page we provided. All looks good, but we still cannot use this in n8n. Now click on this integrate now button and select get code option. Then click on this view docs option where it will show you Firecrawl API documentation. Here on the left side we have different sections. Since we are interested in the extraction endpoint, scroll down here to the features section and then click on this extract new option. Here we can see the detailed information on how to use that extract option. Scroll down, here we have single page option and then multiple pages option. Here is the example on how to use it. Make sure the curl tab is selected here to see the usage in curl. Curl is a command line tool and library for transferring data with URLs. It supports a wide range of protocols including HTTP, HTTPS, FTP and more. Curl is used for making requests to web servers, downloading files and testing APIs. We are going to use this example as template and make necessary adjustments in the n8n HTTP node. So just click on this copy button here. Now we can switch to n8n and start building the workflow. Here I am in the n8n canvas. Click on this plus sign and click on this workflow option. You can change the name of this workflow to any name you want. I'm just calling it as scraping demo. Now let us add the first step by clicking this plus sign and select this trigger manually node to add it as the first node in the workflow. Let us drag it to the left side. This will start the workflow when you click on this test workflow button. Next we are going to insert a HTTP request node. The HTTP request node is for interacting with web services and APIs. Essentially it allows you to send HTTP requests like get, post, put, delete to a specified URL and receive the response. Click on the plus sign here and type in HTTP in this search bar and select this HTTP request node. Most nodes in n8n will have an input and an output. On the left side we have the input section and on the right side we have the output section of the node. You can also click on this node name and then rename it as per your requirement. I just typed in submit request and then click on this rename button. We can see the name has changed now. Now we need to specify how we are going to use this node. Here you can see we have an option to import the curl. Click on this import curl button. You will see this window pop up where you can paste the curl command we copied earlier. Let me paste it here. Then click on this import button. We can see it has been imported. The method field is populated with post method as we are sending data. The URL is populated with the extraction API endpoint. All this means we are sending a request to Firecrawl and it is going to send a request to the website we want to scrape. The authentication field has none value. We are sending headers here. You can see which headers are being sent here. This is the authorization header and then we need to provide the value for the header. You need to paste your API key here after the word bearer. I will show you where you can find your API key in Firecrawl. Let us switch back to Firecrawl website. Here I am on the Firecrawl website. Here it is showing you the API key. Click on this copy button to copy your API key. Now come back to n8n workflow. Then paste your API key here. And for the body content type, we have JSON selected here. And in the specify body field, we have using JSON value selected here. Here in the JSON field, we need to make few edits. The first thing is that we need to specify the website that we want to scrape in this URLs field. Let me remove the first two and then I'm going to paste my website address here. Let me copy it here, then switch back to n8n. I have pasted it here. Now let us replace this sample prompt with our own prompt. I have pasted my own prompt here. We also need to replace this sample schema with our own schema. We generated this schema earlier in Firecrawl website. Let us switch back to Firecrawl website. Let me close this page. Here is the schema that we generated earlier with our prompt. This is the same prompt that we are using now in the n8n node. To make the process easier, click on this button to turn on JSON view mode. Now here we have the schema specification in JSON format that we can simply copy and paste in the n8n node. Copy this whole text here. I have copied the whole text. Now switch to n8n workflow. You can click on this corner to view it in full screen mode. Here now we have it in full screen mode. Let us select from here, remove it and then paste the entire text. Let us confirm the field names are same. Here you can see it is website copy, website summary and then services. This is matching with the original schema definition that we have generated. You can click on this X to close the window. With this, the configuration of this node is complete. We can test how it is working by clicking this test step button here. Let me press this button. The node ran successfully and generated the output. If we look here, it gave us an ID number. This means the extraction job is submitted and now we need to use another API endpoint to fetch the scraped data using this ID number. Click here to go back to the canvas. Let us hit the save button to save our workflow that we have completed so far. We also want to introduce some wait time so that the job has enough time to finish the extraction. The wait node allows you to pause the execution of your n8n workflow for a specified duration or until a certain condition is met. Click on this plus button and then type in wait here, then select this wait node. For the resume field, we have after time interval selected here. That means the workflow will resume after this specified period, and here we can specify the wait amount. Since I want the workflow to pause for 60 seconds, I will type in 60 here, and here the wait unit is seconds. We have different options for wait units here. We can specify minutes, hours or days. In our case, we are using seconds. Click on this back to canvas button now. Let us save the workflow by clicking on this save button again. We can again switch to Firecrawl website and look at which API we need to use for fetching the result set. Here I am back on their API documentation. Let us scroll down further here. Here we have this section asynchronous extraction and status checking. It says when you submit an extraction job, you will receive a job ID. This is what we got by running the node earlier. Now we can use that ID to check the status of the job. This is the API endpoint that we need to use for fetching the result set. In fact, this can be used to check for the extraction job status, which can have these 4 different states. We have completed, pending, failed and cancelled states. The completed status will also return the data set. Click on this copy button to copy the curl. Now let us switch back to n8n workflow and let us add another HTTP request node by clicking on this plus sign. Then type in HTTP here in the search bar and select this HTTP request node. Now click on this import curl button. You will see another pop-up window where we need to paste our curl code. I just pasted our curl code here. Then click on this import button here. We can see that curl has been imported. In the method field, we have get method populated as we are getting data this time. In the URL field, we see the extract API endpoint. Here we need to substitute this field with the extraction ID that we received from the previous node. Since we don't see any input data here, we can go back to the canvas and then execute this node by clicking this test step button. It will simply wait for 60 seconds. This node executed successfully. Now double click on this HTTP request node. Now we can see the output from the previous node. Let me clear this value, then drag and drop this ID into this URL field. Make sure there is no space here. The authentication field has none value. We're sending this authorization header. Again, we need to paste our API key here. Let us go back to Firecrawl. You can also click on this API keys option here to look at your API keys. Here it is displaying your API key. Click on this button to copy your API key. Then switch back to n8n workflow. Paste your API key here. Make sure there is space between the bearer word and the API key. We are not sending any body here. So toggle the body parameter to off position by clicking this button here. With this, the configuration of this node is complete. We can test how it is working by clicking this test step button. The node ran successfully and generated the output. We can see it has extracted the information we requested, which is services, icebreaker, company name, website copy, and the website summary. Now click on this back to canvas button to go back to the canvas, and keep clicking on this save button frequently to save your work. Now that we have finished building this web scraper using Firecrawl, we can click on this test workflow button to run the workflow from the start. Let me click here. You can see the workflow is running. We can see the workflow executed successfully. You can double click on this node to see the output of the node.